conversation that I was just talking about is just like what's happening with the guys in today's society, right? And I was talking about like how much uh, this female portrayal of guys are being portrayed. I actually just watched this like Tinder uh commercial, and it was like men improvement, something like that, right? And if what really like pissed me off about it is that look at the guys that are being portrayed. Look at the guys that are being portrayed. Like 100%. I think about that a lot, and I'm like, the guys that are being portrayed in that video are not guys. They're weak males. I'm not speaking from a POV of saying, well, oh, why is he like such against the feminine and this, that, and the third? I'm not speaking. I honestly don't give a fuck about that. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna just say that I don't care, right? I don't care. I just feel like the conversation of like what's happening to men, why is X, Y, and Z happening? It's because a lot of times your guys are pushing this this perspective of how you should be catered to. Um, for instance, right? You know, a lot of people are raised where it's like, hey, when you turn 18, get the fuck out of my house, right? You gotta go. And I feel like that's a good way of, treating the situation. A lot of guys don't go through that. A lot of people don't go through that. Um, but my main thing is that parents are making their kids are being overprotective over the over the boys, over the guys, being super protective, seeing like how their next move is. You have to answer to authority 24/7. There's no venture of saying, hey, I'm gonna let this person expand, I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna allow them to grow, right? You don't have that expansion. But the problem is, you go and you see these kids, and they're now into everyday society, and it feels tough. It feels hard for them to operate. Um, it pisses me off a lot of times. I was talking to uh, my friend, and he was just saying like his mom would, always be in his business, and or like just like the simple things, just like the everyday things. But it's like I expect that behavior if I had a daughter, right? The things you want me to do is something that you would do to your daughter. And I'm a boy, right? And they were putting these expectations, and these parents are parenting their kids as different genders. Now, mind you, everybody has a different take on that. I have a different specific take on it, and especially with my religious beliefs. I just have a different take on it. But what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, you will have an obligation. The world has an obligation. The reason why I'm actively, posting videos or the things that I'm doing to set myself up for my future is for me to be a better person, to be a vessel to a lot of people. That's just how I believe what I'm pursuing. Um, but it is very important to recognize that a lot of people, a lot of men in today's society is being portrayed as weak, feminine males. That is a very big problem. And we have to change that. And it starts with you, honestly. If you are a guy that is very weak in this mindset, that doesn't go to the gym, that decides to eat bullshit, sometimes I have to check myself to recognize, what am I doing the right things? Am I eating the right things? Am I consuming the right things? Watching pornography. Like those are the things that struggle. Now I understand a lot of people don't recognize this. That one word is a trigger to a lot of people. But allowing yourself to recognize, well, I may be weak. First thing, if you feel like you're not built, you have no friends, you may not look good, you may not do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I was once there. You feel me? But it's time to just tell the world, fuck you. That's what you have to do. If anybody's not gonna be on your side, fuck them. You know, fuck them. Because this is where we're at. I decide today that I'm not gonna be a weak man, bro. And it sounds so crazy to say that, but if you internally feel like you're weak, if you internally feel like I'm not reaching the goals that I want to reach. Look, for the first time in my life, you know, I always had this notion of saying, well, every time I had my goals, every time I had a goal, I always hit it within a year or two. And I was just about to say, like, damn, like, I haven't been hitting my goals. Now, I'm not going to say that bullshit. Because in the last video I talked about, a lot of times we like to put ourselves down. Okay, here's how I'll process if I was in my situation. If I was in a situation where I felt like I'm not winning. All right. This is how I'll process it. I'll sit down. I'll put like 10 minutes on the clock. And I'll think, what's making me weak? My thoughts, the food. I'm waking up in the middle of the day. I'm going to sleep late. I'm watching things that I'm not supposed to be watching. I'm consuming things that I'm not supposed to be consuming. You start naming and listing these things that you're doing. Now, all I have to do is cross out one thing a month. If you're 18, think about it. 2 years, 3 years from now, you could be a fucking beast by you mastering and cutting out all the bullshit that you've been consuming. That's the beauty about that. But we don't teach anybody active steps to make. That's the easiest thing. Put a timer, get a piece of paper, write down all the things that are making you weak, and cross out that one thing every single month. So you get 30 days. 30 days to start a new habit to say, I'm not doing that anymore. But everybody looks at time where it's like, we only have today. And you only have today. But today you can master not eating bullshit. Today you can master, praying more, reading your Bible more. You can be as present. You can have God intercede between the things of watching, pornography. Like, that stuff is the certain things that God can really take away from your life. But you have to be willing to have that mindset that says, I'm going to change. I'm going to put in the work. I can't even tell people how to get over pornography addiction. I can't tell people how to do it, right? The only thing I can say is, if you pray and in the midst of where you feel that you're most connected to doing that act, that you set boundaries and saying, hey, I'm going to allow God, before I go into this place, whether it's the bathroom, I'm going to say, God, I'm going to pray. I'm going to put my phone outside the bathroom. I'm going to do my business. And now as I leave, I'm going to thank God. That's how you have him intercede. And that's how you actively move forward with something. That's power. Remove the vices that we're going through in life and learn how to not be weak. Become strong. But there's nobody actively telling you strong shit. Like, yeah, you got David Goggins and you got these Navy vets and you have all these people that are doing hard shit. They're saying hard shit, but how do I understand how to do hard shit? I want to be a fucking beast. I want to be a monster. So it's just those are the little things that we have to just continue to move forward and grow from. So just food for thought.